All right. Hey, everybody. So, this is the fifth video. It is January 17th, 2024. And in this video, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to test the hypothesis that we spoke about in the last video. And the idea here is that because we know the world is a duality and we know that this is a physical world, if this is a physical world, then there must be another side to it. And I made the hypothesis that it must be consciousness, must be some kind of a field of consciousness, which we actually emanate from. We come from that consciousness because we have consciousness within ourselves. That consciousness somehow is in that other side, which we are part of. And, there's many different things that this implies, that we are all connected. People are connected to one another beyond just physically. We are somehow consciously connected with people. And so the idea in the previous video was that we have, in our mind, we have two parts of our mind. Because again, everything is a duality in the world, right? So the two parts of our mind, we have a conscious mind, which has whatever we have in our consciousness at that time, at that moment, and really represents kind of who we are or who we think we are. It's not necessarily who we are. And then we have our subconscious mind, which is the other side of our mind, which in many ways is kind of the opposite of our conscious mind. Our conscious mind has our short term memory, our subconscious mind has our long term memory. Our conscious mind thinks linearly, our subconscious mind thinks abstractly or non-linearly. It can put together an answer from a number of different things, and you may not even know how it's come up with that answer. It's just like some people will get a spontaneous idea of something. Inventions come from that place often. So basically, the way that we can test whether or not this other side of reality is consciousness, and through it, the idea that we are connected, we're all connected, is that we can pray for things. And what prayer really is setting an intention of what you want. It's got to be something that you actually want and believe that you deserve, and that it's okay to have it. It can't be something that you think is wrong or immoral or whatever. And it also can't be something that's kind of physically impossible. Like if I want to fly, well, I may be able to invent an airplane to be able to fly, and we've proven that's possible, and we do it all the time. But to actually fly is breaking the rules of reality for a human being. So, but we have the ability to. How can I explain it? There's two parts again to this. There's more to another duality involved in this, and that's the idea that part of who we are and what we do in this world is action and non-action. So the action part of it is that I have to, let's say that I want to win the lottery. I want to win a lottery ticket. Okay. People always wonder about this one. So if I want to win the lottery, well, I've got to pray on winning the lotto. Okay. But there is a physical part of it. You have to get a lottery ticket. You have to buy a lottery ticket. It is possible that someone could buy one for you, could buy the winning lottery ticket for you, or maybe go half and half on a lottery ticket with you and say that they're going to include you in it, or there's different ways of that. But so what I'm getting at is that there are two parts to this. And the other thing to think about is that only so many people win the lottery. Okay? So there's only one lotto jackpot, right? Only one person can be president. So it, what I'm getting at here is that there's probabilities, there's laws associated with this, that in some ways you have to be practical, but in many ways not. So it's like if I say, "Oh, I want to be the CEO of a company that I create it into $1 billion company," well, um, that's definitely possible. That's definitely doable. You know, if I want to invent some kind of thing that's going to help people or change the world or whatever, that's possible. I mean, it sounds difficult to do, but it's definitely possible. So we it's difficult to say, exactly what are the boundaries of doing this? Where's the what's possible, what's not possible, or what is the probability of something happening? Um, and this is where I'll get into it more in another video, because it's not like just telling. It's like telling somebody how to drive a car, and you're like, oh, you got the steering wheel here, you got the pedals, and there's a brake and a gas pedal. You put the car into gear and you just drive the car and you steer it with the steering wheel. Well, there's a lot more to driving than just that. There's like how much pressure you put on the gas pedal or the brake, and the fact that you don't put the brake and the gas pedal at the same time, and how fast you turn around a corner, and depending on the weather conditions, how you should drive. And I mean, there's so much more to learning how to drive than just telling someone something so that simple, right? But if you use common sense, I think that some common sense, right? You can think about what how you can apply this in your life. Now, as I mentioned, there's another set of a duality, being the fact that there's action and non-action. So there's kind of two ways that this works. So when people talk about the law of attraction, there's two ways that it works. One is the idea that it's like sports psychology. So if I'm playing a game of basketball and I believe that I can make the jump shot, the free throw, jump shot, whatever. If I believe I can make the basket, I'm more inclined to be able to do that. Same for golf, or same for any sport. Okay. And if I'm in sales and I want to be a really confident salesperson and project that confidence to people, that I believe in my product, whatever it is, and I would tell you that if you're in sales, you got to believe in your product, because if you don't believe in your product, people are going to be able to tell. Um, so so that's one side of it, is having the right kind of sports psychology. And so with the law of attraction, with prayer, you can actually feed your mind positive stuff so that you will take the positive actions that you need in your life to actually get things done and to be successful, right? But on the other side of it, there may be some kind of a non-physical part of this. And the non-physical is the idea, getting back to what I've been talking about in terms of the law of attraction. It's the idea that somehow we can actually manifest things in our life. We can meet people, we can be presented with opportunities, we can achieve certain things, certain outcomes, beyond just our physical doing things, working to achieve them. It can be that um, going back to the analogy of the basketball game. Okay, when you think about the basketball game, what if you could be in the right place to catch the ball to be able to hit the free throw? What if you could find yourself on the right team? Let's say that you want to win the championships. What if you could find yourself on the right team to be able to do that, to win a championship? Right? So it may be that we can actually find ourselves, and this is what I believe, but I'll leave it to you to test all this, the hypothesis of this and experiment with it. It's the idea that you can actually find yourself in the right place at the right time for things to happen. Okay? And so that's what we're going to test here today. Okay? We're going to test this hypothesis that we are going to be able to do something. Okay? And it's not something that we be able to attract something to us. So it's not that we're going to say, oh, I want to go to the gym and work out and all. And then I was praying, and then I actually went to the gym, and I got off my ass and I actually went to the gym and that type of thing. What this is going to be is we're going to meditate on attracting a certain thing that we don't have to go out and do. Somehow we're going to bump into somebody. We're going to wind up seeing something, whatever it is that we want to prove to ourselves this hypothesis that the other side of reality is consciousness, and somehow the world will bring us that thing. It will give us that thing. We'll find ourselves in a situation where we will be experiencing that thing. So the way that this works is that if you can imagine water, which is not, imagine something that's hard, something that's very hard. Something that's very hard, it's not easy for something to go through it. Okay? So when something's relaxed, think about water. When water is hard and it's frozen, we can't put our hand into the water. Okay? But when water is relaxed and it's not frozen, you can easily put your hand in the water. Okay? The same goes for many things in this world. And the idea is that when our mind is relaxed, we can impress upon it, and we can have these ideas, these thoughts go into our mind, into our subconscious mind. And in many ways, that duality of our conscious mind or subconscious mind is the idea that the conscious mind is the masculine mind, and the subconscious is the feminine mind, the receptive mind. And there's a number of different reasons for that, but I won't get into them in this video. So what you want to do is you want to basically just, for 10 minutes, either lay down or sit in a very comfortable place and just relax. Just relax your body and relax your mind. Because again, that's another part of the duality, is the duality is your mind and your body, relaxing them down. And as you relax them down, I want you to choose something that you want to focus on, that you want to experience. Because the key to this is the idea that there's some kind of a mirroring principle in this world, that whatever goes on inside our minds is actually being reflected in the world. So whatever we are impressing upon our mind somehow is mirrored in this world. And this is another law of the world. The duality is this mirroring principle. Okay. So let's say that um, let's say you haven't been to a party in a long time. Okay. I haven't been to a party, a really great party, in a while, like a really good party. I remember when I was younger, going to all kinds of parties, in high school and university, big parties, lots of people, right? But I think that, when you get older and you may not go to as many parties. And so let's say that you haven't been to a party in a while, okay? You can literally imagine that you're at a big party, that there's a lot of people there. And the key to this is that first off, you got to want to be at the party. You got to want to go to a party. So if you don't want to go to a party, don't imagine getting invited to a party. Okay. Imagine something that you really want. Okay. Because it resonates with you and it's something you really want. And again, that's just another way that you are ready to accept it. You want to accept this idea. Okay. Which is more likely to be created in your reality as soon as possible. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to basically just relax your body and mind down, and you want to experience that thing that you want to experience in the physical world, in the outside world, in your mind. And what will happen is that I don't know how long it's going to take. Nobody knows how long it can take to manifest something. But if you persist with it, if you continue to meditate on it, you have faith. This is what all the texts say. Okay? What all the religious texts talk about this, the power of prayer. It is actually the foundation of all religion. All religion is about prayer. All the stories, they're all allegories. Many of these things never even took place. I'm not saying that the people, the avatars that are in these religions, they didn't exist. I believe that they existed. Most of them, if not all, many of them. But many of their names are different than what they probably were. They're stories that were created around individuals that were teachers, that were prophets, whatever. So, but all the religions, they all talk about this. They all talk about the power of prayer. That this world is a world of giving and receiving. Okay, it's the law of you reap what you sow. Okay, that's in the Western traditions. In the Eastern traditions, it's the law of karma. Okay, the law of karma. Karma is basically action, so it's action reaction. The action that you do, it comes back to you. It's mirrored in the world. So if you impress upon your mind a certain thing, it will be mirrored back to you in this world, for good or bad. So and also what actions you take. So if you do good things in this world, good things will come to you. Okay? That's the idea. You reap what you sow. And they always talk about faith. So it's always about your faith that that unseen world will reward you with what you want, what you ask for. It's faith. Okay? So if you don't have any faith that this is going to work and you don't put any faith into it, it won't work. Okay? It won't work because you don't have any faith in it. If you have faith in this and you're open to it and you say, you know what, I'm going to try this out and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to believe this. I'm going to believe this. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to persist with it. And I'm going to have faith that it's going to work. It will work. Okay? So you have to believe. And that's another thing that comes up in all the texts. It's all about the power of belief. You know, if you believe, you will be rewarded, you'll receive. Okay. So what we're doing is we're giving and we're receiving. We're giving to our mind these ideas. We're impressing upon our subconscious, which is like planting seeds in soil. Seeds being ideas, pictures, experiences, and they germinate in our subconscious mind and somehow they're recreated out into the world. Okay? So the key to doing this, the key to prayer is to believe that you have already received it, that you've already received it. So when you're doing it, you don't want to just be imagining that sometime in the future you're going to receive this. When you're doing this, when you're meditating your mind and you're imagining that you're at that party, you want to be there as if you are there. You are there. You're not going to be there in the future. You're there experiencing the party in your mind. Okay? You are experiencing that party. You are there in that scene. Okay? And you want to experience it with all your experiences, or with all your feelings. You want to experience it with all your senses. So what are our senses? So I would suggest in the beginning that you don't use all your senses, because for most people that's too much. It's too much it's too complicated for them to try to imagine, to visualize, to experience with all their senses whatever that they're imagining. It's too difficult for people to do that. What I would suggest is that in the beginning, and you just do this 5-10 minutes a day. Okay. But you keep doing it. 5-10 minutes a day. You visualize what it is that you want. Okay. And you feel it. So what would it feel like? What would it feel like to be at a party? Would it be fun? Are you having a blast there? Are you talking to a lot of good people, a lot of friends? Are they fun? Are they funny? Um, are you drinking a drink? Do you feel kind of inebriated? Maybe you've had a few drinks. You know. Um, so visualize it, first person, that you're there in that scene at that party, or whatever it is that you want to visualize. It could be whatever you want to visualize, and then feel it. Okay. Now you can go deeper into it. The more you do this, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, you're going to be able to incorporate um, more of your senses. You're going to be able to incorporate your smell, right? Your sense of smell, your touch, your taste, your hearing. Beyond your feelings and your visualizing in your mind's eye what it is that you're experiencing, right? It's not what you want to experience. It's not that I want to go to a party in the future. No, you were in that party there. Be in that party. Suspend your disbelief. Suspend your disbelief. It's like you're in a movie. It's amazing when people are watching a movie in a movie theater. They get so into the movie, they literally suspend their disbelief and they forget that they're even in a movie theater. It's the most incredible thing. I mean, and that technology, now is with virtual reality and everything that they're creating now is just incredible. So so that's what you're doing. I mean, this is kind of like virtual reality in your mind, right? And it will somehow show up in your life, whatever it is that you visualize. You're in that scene first person, you're in your body, you're in those shoes, whatever shoes you're wearing at that party or whatever it is that you're doing. You're wearing those clothes, you can feel them on you, and you can see yourself at that party. And just have a scene where somebody says something to you. Make it very simple. It doesn't have to be that you run through the whole thing, you're at the door of the house and you open the house and there's all these people in it. It can just be that you were at that party and someone says to you, "It's so great to meet you. It's so great to have a drink. I haven't seen you in a long time." And just rehash that experience, that 15, 20, 30-second experience in your mind a number of times. And it's absolutely bizarre, but you will find that you will experience that in your life. You will at some point, don't know when, it could be the next day, it could be a week, it could be a month. You will find yourself in that situation. Now, if you want to achieve something more, if you want to achieve some big goal, which you know that it's physically impossible to be the president of the United States or, the prime minister of Canada or whoever today, because you don't have the skills to be able to do that, if you persist in this, it might take a year, it might take 10 years, it might take a lifetime. But who's to say that you can't gain the skills and get to the point where you could be that person? Okay? So think about what you want, what you truly want, and that you're okay with. You're okay doing, you're okay receiving, you're okay being, and go for it. Persist with this 5-10 minutes a day, and just relax. Don't force it. Just have total faith that it's happening. Have no expectation that it will happen. It doesn't have to happen. Let it happen, and it will. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you why this works. And I've hinted to it, but I can go so much deeper into it. And even then, a 5-minute video, 10-minute video, 15-minute video is only scratching the surface. Okay. So try this out, persist in it, and I'll see you in the next video.